Whoa. Word around the campfire is Tiny left T.I. and not the other way around. Now, I don't want to go into a history of problems and TMZ this thing out, but it's a lot of people that's friends with us that's friends with Tiny. And none of them like Tip. I'm the only one that's like in Tip's corner. And then it was like, you don't really know Tip. Okay, he's a manipulative SOB and he tries to control everything. He's really controlling. And he plays off the fact that they have a brand, T.I. and Tiny. And the T.I. and Tiny brand is bigger than the T.I. brand right now by himself. And the fact is, he had to reinvent himself by using Tiny. And it was basically her idea saying, look, let's go at another route because you're trying to get back to where you was before the case. And it hasn't quite been working out. So let's try this new route. And she came up with the idea of the TV reality show thing. And this was basically her bag. And people gravitated to her like the girls. And then T.I. was able to see another side of him with the family hustle. So now you got T.I. back in the spotlight in a whole different way now. You know, he's more positive. It's about fatherhood. And now he's able to get places where before he couldn't get to close certain type of deals. Now, not airing somebody's dirty laundry out, but allegedly he's been involved in different stuff every year. Involving women, may have other kids out there. And she's been taking it all in because she's all about family. Plus he plays off the fact of her having a low self-esteem. Even though she was in the group Escape and doing all this stuff, she had a very low self-esteem. And she didn't want to, the first thing she had didn't work out. She did not want to lose Tip. One of these, girls. So she always thought she had to step it up. Because she don't want to lose Tip. And even though Tip like, baby, you ain't got to change. Allegedly, all these things were going on behind the scenes. And he was getting caught. Allegedly. That's why Shakina don't like him. LaToya don't like him. None of her friends, Sabrina, none of them like her husband. When your friends don't like your husband, they probably know a lot about what the husband then did. And somebody who was just down no matter what and putting up with it. So it's a situation where you hope things work out, but you don't know how they're going to. Now, word around the campfire is that she left. She's staying somewhere else. I don't know what's going to happen with their show or what's going to happen with it, or are they still going to do it. But they're keeping it low key, I guess, for their brand. They don't want to completely damage that. But with all this hoopla going on around, both sides could say it's nothing. We can get back together. And, T.I. want her back in the house. From what I'm hearing, that he want her back. He don't want her gone at all. But he wants a lot of changes that happen involving her, but he haven't changed. He keeps promising that he was, but of course he goes out and do things he says he doesn't do. And of course now you got rumors of an escort and model escort stuff coming out, and it's just rumors so far, but she would know best, more than me. And the friends would know. Because I'm quite sure she's disgusted with them. And they pretty disgusted with him. Or she had a group, and allegedly T.I. was messing with one of the girls in his own wife's group. That she was starting with the girl group. And then that blew up. It's like when you're trying to make something happen and you got somebody who's more destructive than helping the situation, You gotta kind of like evaluate the pros and cons of what's happening and saying, is this person even really should be in my vicinity? Like, should I even be with this person? And I think she's at that point now where she's strong enough to at least leave for a while to try to get some space or, just a break. Because that's the first step for her. She went in. There was rumors about him and the model with the blue eyes, and then next thing you know, she got blue eyes. She went and got the implants in the butt and the breast implants, the Botox and the lips. She's trying to stay with the times to keep up with what's fashionable, but she's more brilliant with her mind than anything else. And that's the person, like, I remember, like, who comes up with the ideas and, as far as business and management and taking care of things. That's where her value is, really. And all this other stuff is psychological, Sometimes men, they put that on a woman, or they know their wife have that and then try to enhance it. They only want it enhanced enough to suit them when need be, instead of wanting to see them confident and to the point where they don't need that stuff, period. But, when you got social media, you're in the social limelight, and you got yourself being criticized all the time on social media and people putting your picture up next to, like, Miss Piggy and all this stuff. It's psychologically damaging, especially if your self-esteem isn't always 100%. I mean, she's not alone. It's not like saying she's the only person to ever be like that. Mariah Carey's like that. So, as big as a star she is, she's, got self-esteem issues. So, it happens. But we ain't gonna TMZ this thing, man. Like I said, I just told y'all the word around the campfire. Let me go ahead and get caught up on The Flash. I ain't been watching The Flash in a minute. I need to get caught up. Alright, I'm out.